Hey Marshall, it's video time.
No. No. You got me. It's been a while. Welcome back. I really appreciate that everybody's been watching. As much as I try, it's busy around here, as you can see, with all of the cases and everything that's going on. It's frankly insane. So, since you guys have asked so many questions, I figured I'll get back into things with a little Q&A, again, because these are, I think, a lot of the questions that are great to help us out. Let's get right into it. The generic dude. I have a question about wolf notes on classical guitar. What causes wolf notes? Are there any fixes? The reason that I ask is because whenever I play a C natural across a fingerboard, I get a wolf note. The only thing that helps is changing the tuning of the guitar. Wolf notes, and I've said this many times in the past, are the indication of a really good guitar. Now, I actually don't see a whole lot of true wolf notes on guitars the way that they manifest in violins or cellos or violas. But typically what you have, and what a wolf note is a big manifestation of a lot of sound being concentrated in one area as the wood is vibrating. So essentially what you need to do is find where that hot spot is and put a little bit of mass onto it. And this is something that you will want to spend and schedule some time with your local luthier, or come by my place or whatever, to do some testing. Now, you don't have to go onto the inside to make all the initial changes. All you have to do is find like a little bit of silly putty or blue tack, the poster tack that you use to clean out your earbuds, because nobody hangs posters with it anymore, I suppose. And find the spot on the top, and you can do that by playing the note and then touching around the top to find where it's the hottest, and you'll feel it with just a very light finger pressure. And chances are, if you put a little piece of blue tack on there, and you want to schedule your time with the luthier very quickly after this, if you put a piece of blue tack right on top of it, you can figure out where exactly it is and calm that area down. And once you do that, you can put like a little tiny piece of wood on the underside of the top to quiet that area down. Now, that said, a lot of times what people think are a wolf note on a guitar ends up being an after buzz, meaning like or a back buzz, which is between the fret and the nut, where that can be simply solved by shimming the nut ever so slightly. It may be that you have a sympathetic vibration between the nut and the string end, or you may have if a lot of people are using tuners now, you may actually have a loose screw in the tuner. So, like I said, I very rarely see actual wolf notes on a guitar. Typically, it's something else that's vibrating. The other thing to check often is the tuners. Make sure that the screws are tight, and if it has a tuner with a screw end on the pip, make sure that is tight, because again, those come up very often. Question next. Hagris P2. Which wood is more resistant to humidity? Cedar, spruce, as far as the top wood. Okay, so top woods. They are both reasonably resistant, but spruce has a tendency to move more, and you have to understand that currently I have about 20 different species of spruce and pines and firs, which in America we just lump into as spruce. And I've got about 3 different species of cedar. The simple answer is cedar. Cedar is one of the most dimensionally stable woods out there outside of walnut and mahogany. And so if you are going to be taking a guitar for the specific thought that it's not going to expand or contract, cedar is the one to go with. Spruce soundboard can move across the entire width by about a 1/16 of an inch total. Cedar is closer to a 32nd, so it's about 50% more stable from the highest high humidity to the lowest low humidity. How do the fan frets change the sound? You had two question marks and an exclamation point. I took it as face value. When you think about a string, the way that they move, it not only moves up and down, but side to side in a circular envelope. And the way that the saddle is on a typical guitar, along with the frets, is that they are parallel. And when you have parallel frets, the sound waves move up and down the string normally. And you can see this in this room. I have LED lights, and if you have one of these modern electric lights like a CFL or an LED, you can see this very carefully on the string. When you have an even amount of movement across the string from between the two frets, you have a very even amount of stress within the string itself. When you have the fan frets and you see that the motion is being pushed to one side or the other, you have an uneven distribution of sound. It's a very minute thing, and it's one of those things where if you aren't listening for it, you won't hear it, but I can hear a slight difference in the sound quality between the same maker, between fan frets and straight frets. And, that said, for me, it's more of a geometry issue. Most guitarists are taught to play in one certain path and direction. And if you have a fan fret, you have to explain again on how to play the guitar. And it's a very simple difference, but it throws a lot of people off. And that's personally why I'm not the biggest fan of fan frets. 3D MV is, how do you taper the sides along the back? Do you mark the taper on a straight line and cut them by adding a few millimeters and then bending them so that you end up where the line when I place the binding? No, actually, what I do is I'll make a template with the side, and for some guitars, I really like if I like the formation of a guitar and the overall shape, I'll tape a piece of paper to the sides along the top, where I know it's a flat edge or reasonably flat edge, and then I'll take a just kind of like a pencil or a crayon or something like that, and I'll make a side template, because they're actually not straight. 1 second. All right, I'm back. This is a side template that I made for way back in the day when I was making triple O's and steel strings. This is a piece of plexi after I transferred this from a guitar that I liked. This one was actually off of a pre-war Martin 0045. I've got a scribe line here which marks the center of the butt of the guitar, and then I have a scribe line here where it marks the waist of the guitar, and then up here I have a scribe line here where it marks the neck of the guitar. And as you can see, there's a significant taper throughout. So it's not just taking off a few millimeters. This one, a hole so I can hang it, and plexi is very chippy, so plan accordingly. So as you can see, this is not just a straight line. It's actually a very complex line. Well, by very I mean moderately complex line that I use. And so if I'm building a steel string, I'll put this down along the flat side, trace along the edge, and then cut it out with my bandsaw. And then when I put my linings on, I try to keep them about the same height, so that way my linings look very nice against the edge. And that's how I make a side template, and that's how I mark out my sides. I'm wondering how good pine and oak would sound on a guitar, because those are the only materials you have at hand. Also wondering where the videos are at, why did I stop posting them, and I'm glad that you love watching them. Okay, let's start from the back. Why did I stop posting? I have a 2-year-ish backlog. I have about a 3 to 6 month backlog of all repairs, and I have kids. So oak is one of those... So oak is a wonderful wood for the sides and back, because it sounds pretty decent if you find the right piece. One of the issues of oak is that after you bend it, over time, it's actually going to want to straighten back out. So keep that in mind. Now, as far as pine goes, there are many, 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 many species of pine, and a lot of what we kind of just throw into one bucket as spruce because it's a white pulpy wood or a white softwood can either a lot of times are pines or firs, not just a true spruce. So I do build guitars out of pine, and one of them is that I use is the akurumatsu, which is Japanese black spruce, which is actually a pine. So, yeah, absolutely wonderful stuff. Now, if we're talking about like a Swiss pine, like something that you're harvesting from your local orange big box store, some of that stuff is pretty good. But not the 2x4s. Go if you are in the premium lumber section, you can actually find some pretty decent bracewood there. But just stay away from my orange big box store. Okay? Thanks for watching. I really appreciate all these questions and that you guys are active on in the comments section. And please, I do, despite what it looks like, I really do enjoy shooting these videos. I just don't have enough time to make it as regular as I would like. New year, new thing. Unless you're watching far in the future, in case of that, then disregard and just keep watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and whatever else they say on the YouTubes to make this happen. I really appreciate it. It helps me out. And I do have a lot of fun doing this. If you want to support me, I do have a Patreon. Whatever level you want, it really helps me out. It helps fund this. It helps just to do what, bring us all together as a community. And I'll be posting up there a bit more as well. Until next time, see you later.